Joining me in studio now is Puneet. Thank you so much for joining us today, Puneet. Let's start off with Rezidor's view on the current hotel market in the whole of South Africa. Obviously, there's various nodes, and the most important nodes, of course, Johannesburg and the likes of Cape Town. Rezidor's stance on where the hotel industry is going.
Well, the hotel industry in South Africa has been good, especially this year because of the World Cup. And we at Rezidor believe that South Africa has a better chance compared to other countries, and we list it as #1 priority for us because it has a right balance between business and leisure opportunities to get the customers. Of course, after such a big event like World Cup, you cannot keep on the same rates and same occupancy levels that we have experienced. However, we do believe that South Africa has a great potential, and for us is identified as the #1 market in Africa.
Well, it's #1 market in Africa, apart from the likes of Mauritius and the other developing nations. You would say South Africa is definitely the most opportunity.
We think with 50 million people, with the size of the country, given the history, given places like Joburg and the importance of Joburg in terms of an airlift perspective, Cape Town, where we have been with the Radisson waterfront very successful over the last 10 years, we think this is a great market opportunity for us.
Well, it's quite interesting that you say that, because many would have said that prior to the World Cup. What kind of opportunities lie after the World Cup? I mean, we know we've got quite a big influx of tourists. The question is, are we going to be seeing the same occupancy rates? Are we going to see sustained occupancy rates? And what is going to differentiate you from the other players in the market?
Well, I don't think it's just the World Cup. I think it started last year already with the 2020, the IPL league from India, followed by, I think it was the World Cup rugby, and then came the Soccer World Cup. And I think that has put South Africa on the world map. There are millions of people who watched South Africa on the television. So it's a good advertising campaign for South Africa. And I think over longer term, there will be more and more people coming, especially giving just an example of the BRIC countries and approximately 150 million potential tourists that are expected to come from India and China alone over the next 5 to 20 years. And we think that a lot of them would be very excited to come to this part of the world.
Well, it's also interesting to note that no new 3-star hotels have been opened in Cape Town over the last 2 years. It seems that the big focus has been on 5-star hotels. Are you planning to dabble further into this segment? What kind of opportunities lie ahead?
Well, we just announced yesterday the Park Inn in Cape Town, which will be 120 rooms, opening in Q4 of next year, which is a conversion of an office building.
And this is a 3-star hotel?
This is 3 to 4. We don't go by star rating. We would call it a mid-market brand with food and beverage, with our top first-class brand being Radisson Blu, which everyone is familiar with. We think that all these markets over the mid and long term require more supply in the mid-market and the budget and economy segment. But this is very typical of all emerging markets, where you build in first the 5 stars and 4 stars. Instead of having a normal pyramid, you almost have an inverted pyramid in terms of the supply growth.
Okay, you're saying it's going to kick off in the 4th quarter of next year. What kind of occupancy rates are you targeting for?
Well, over long term, a hotel is expected to stabilize in 2 to 4 years' time. And in 2 to 4 years' time, we are talking about 2013, 14, 15. We think with 120 rooms Park Inn, we can do anything between 75 and 85% occupancy.
We spoke about the World Cup, and it seems that some companies and some hotels are not really happy with their branding, and you are currently in talks with hotel owners who aren't happy with the existing branding. What kind of headway are you going to be making in that space?
Well, one of the key strategies of our company has been to look for conversion opportunities, and as we all talk about different statistics, for example, in the US, 80% of your hotel supply or hotel stock is branded and 20% is unbranded. When you go to the other parts of the world, the situation is almost reverse. So there are a lot of unbranded operations which do need support and help from a global distribution system. And we think we are a significant player in this market and have the ability to provide that system. So yes, we would be in negotiations and discussions with people who would like to, or hotel owners who are unhappy with the level of sales that they are driving and want to improve upon it. And on one hand, we have a dedicated office out of Cape Town, which has the operations team, which has the development team, which has the revenue team and the finance people. And we think we can leverage that strength with our international expertise and our reservation system to help build a better quality of distribution.
Tell us about hotel investments in surrounding areas of South Africa. I mean, I know you said South Africa is your #1 priority in Africa at the moment. What about Mauritius, Mozambique, you know, and also just looking at other areas where we could see some opportunity?
We are opening a hotel in Maputo in Q1 of next year.
That's the Radisson Blu.
That's the Radisson Blu. We are also opening a Park Inn in Tet. We are opening in Addis in June or July of next year. And we are under construction in Nairobi. We are under development in Luanda. We are under very strong growth plan for Nigeria, with a hotel opening in Lagos in Q1 of next year. That has been in construction for a long time. It has taken us much longer to develop that Radisson Blu than we initially thought, but we have 4 more following in that market. So we have quite a strong plan for Sub-Saharan Africa, where we have today 7 hotels in operation. We have another 16 in development. And in total, we have approximately 40 hotels on the African continent.
Fantastic. Puneet, thank you so much for your time today.